guys, you're watching Skuff TV. Today on Skuff, we're back with the second instalment in the TTR series. From straight lines to triple corks and the history of competitive snowboarding. With plenty more archive footage, this part of the series looks into the first ever border cross races, the start of the Innsbruck Air and Style, and the appearance of a Norwegian super kid, Terje Haakonsen. At this stage, snowboarding as a sport was on the rise and Terje seemed the man to beat.
By the start of the 90s, the rivalry between snowboarding's first real stars, Sean Palmer and Craig Kelly, was at its peak. These two were dominating almost every competition. But at the 1990 Burton US Open, a 17-year-old Norwegian appeared on the scene. His name, Terje Haakonsen. With his aggressive style, innovative tricks and high amplitude, the cocky kid from Norway immediately left his mark on snowboarding.
What's your goal?
Get a car.
You got a car? That's your goal? Alright.
Where do you think the sport is going to go?
It's gonna go far.
It's going to go far?
2 years later, Terje won his first US Open title and a new star was born.
You know, it was just a dream. It was like I was beating the guys I looked up to, and riding with Palmer and Brushy, and especially in the pipe. From what I remember, it was good times.
It was good times indeed for Terje. He won 3 US Open halfpipe titles between 1992 and 1995. The Haaken had landed and the snowboard world watched in awe. As more and more events popped up all over the world, competitive snowboarding reached a whole new level.
People got a little bit more serious about the competition side, where people started focusing on only one side of the event, and the culture style started to really draw different people. Like people who were in Alpine were more the jock who worked out at the gym, and freestyle was just like skateboarding was. It was pretty loose. It was a lifestyle that was very individual influence and pretty colorful, you could say.
In 1991, the missing colour was added to the Alpine disciplines when the first ever border cross event was held in Blackcomb, Canada. Multiple races on a course with cambered turns, berms and jumps. This was exhilarating, high-flying, elbow-to-elbow racing. This motocross-inspired event was a huge hit with spectators, and suddenly the racing disciplines had regained their long-lost sex appeal.
It's in a realm in itself. It's totally different.
It's a higher plane, man.
By '92, the first ever official European Championships were held in the form of the now legendary Champs Open. The best racers from around the world travelled to LYNN, Switzerland to compete in the dual slalom and the GS. However, all eyes were really on the halfpipe contest, where Terje Haakonsen continued his rise to the top of the snowboarding world. Freestyle snowboarding was progressing fast.
The equipment got a lot better, and you know, tricks just developed fast because, you know, it's not a super technical sport in certain ways. You know, we do have bindings, so everything was, you know, moving fast.
The trick-wise, it was you never know what you could do, or what tricks, or what style, and it was a lot of different influence, a lot of different ways to ride.
At the end of 1993, a Welsh snowboard photographer based in Innsbruck had an idea that changed the face of snowboarding events forever.
You know, there were a lot of alpine events, there were a few halfpipe events, and you know, it was all a lot more relaxed and everyone was a little crazy. So we just came up with the idea of a straight jump, which is like the main jump that you do on the mower shooting, so that was the logical next step.
The Air and Style was born, and for the first edition in January 1994, the world's biggest snowboard stars descended on Innsbruck.
It was definitely a trying contest. It was hard, and I'm just happy to be here in Austria.
I think it's the best one that I've ever been to, just because it's like Supercross and there's all these people.
With 5,000 spectators at an inner-city snowboard event, the Air and Style was a real game changer. The inaugural event was won by a young Swiss rider, Reto Lamb.
For me, it was amazing to actually experience winning the first Air and Style, because it was within the history of snowboarding, it was one of the most important moments, and to be there on the pinnacle at that exact time really changed my life.
Due to the huge success of the first event, another Air and Style was held the same year, and the concept is still with us today.
It was a performance for snowboarding. Before, it was always about the resorts. Everybody had to go to the resorts to watch snowboarding, and the Air and Style really shifted that. Where
I remember seeing the stadium and being like, wow, that's the contest right there. That's like a rock concert.
At the second Air and Style, the crowds doubled, and the contest was won by Swedish rider Ingemar Backman with a 720.
I ended up winning before Terje and Johan Olofsson, which were good friends and good people, so it was a special moment for me.
A year later, the Air and Style went into overdrive, and more than 20,000 spectators made their way to the Big Easel Stadium. This was now the biggest snowboard contest in the world.
All I saw was the icy takeoff and 30,000 screaming fans and kids out in the crowd, and that made such an impact. It's something I'll never forget.
Despite American stars like Jamie LYNN and Brian Iguchi, it was Terje Haakonsen who added the Air and Style win to his tally of contest victories.
Everybody wanted to win as much back then as they want to win now, you know, because that contest has history and they really want to win it, you know. It's like a prestige kind of thing.
Snowboarding was on a very steep trajectory. It was becoming a movement, a lifestyle, with music and fashion attached. The first Winter X Games, the first Olympics, all revealed in episode 3.